everybody doing today? This is your dogs in the building. This is Blunt Talk. Welcome back to the session. I am Silent Child 17.
Chop Tracks in the building.
And I think we got other people here. I'm not sure. Let me check.
P360 in the building.
Oh, okay, chill. We just checking, fellas. How y'all doing out there, people? What's happening with y'all? We got a great one for y'all. My dog gonna break all this stuff down, man. This is Chop Tracks segment for this week. And he got something he want to break down for y'all. So without further ado, I'm going to let him do his thing.
All right, how y'all doing? I'm gonna start with a question. Okay, let's just jump right into it. Are there gay groups against the LGBT community? Do y'all know about those people?
I believe there are some that disagree with some of the things that's happening in the LGBTQ. So yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a discussion at hand.
So, what are some of y'all personal views, like with some of the things y'all see going on right now with that community? Because this is Pride Month, so it's a lot of shit in there about that topic that's been coming up, and I've been seeing in social medias and shit. So what's some shit that y'all came across that y'all seen that's eye opening to y'all you didn't know about or you were shocked to see?
Okay, I guess I'll jump in first with this one. I see that there are a lot of people, even though I talked about it a little bit once before, that they're speaking out now about the transitioning and the problems thereof, the medical problems that come about with it. They're advising people to think before they act on that. They talking about the psychiatric community is not telling them everything that's involved with this and how a lot of people really need to undergo psychiatric evaluation about it.
What you got, Simon?
The question was about what surprised me or shocked me.
Yeah, something
One
you
of the
seen in the
things
media.
is a part. Yeah, one of them is a part and in part partial of what he said. The misunderstanding of both sides and not knowing that it's dangerous to uh, line people up physically and say that they are capable of the same exact thing. Um, it's never been fair, and it's never going to be fair, regardless of how you change or what you change. It's there's always a balance, and when you try to tilt that balance, it's going to always have that backlash or have that problem. So I'm gonna say the sports thing, kind of how they dipping that. I'm gonna get into that on my little piece. And like he said about the biology of it, right? Understanding what it really is and morale discrimination. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that on my end. But that's my three right there. That's as far as shocking or surprised that people didn't understand those three things. So
Yeah, for me, I would say it's them trying to basically mad about it not being in school. Like we all had the little sex education class. I think it was like what fucking had to be early high school or some shit like that. Whatever. But they starting off earlier than that. You know what I'm saying? They got the books and shit, and they actually are people that's mad about it. The way I think about it is, who are those children going to? But after they learn that, that stuff or whatever, who they gonna practice that with? Adults, other children that's you know, I don't know. Like that's the one that gets to me. Like was like I understand that
Yeah, I had
they
health class. They took that shit completely out of school damn near anyway. They was on some other shit. They were talking about AIDS and giving niggas lifestyle condom packs and shit. But they
Right.
didn't really
But
talk
look,
about it. You
oh
know
yeah.
how you see on the high school movies where the white kids, they got the teacher that brings in the animate object and they show them how to put the condom on. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that shit was not in the fold.
No,
They ain't do none of that shit. So just taking that out of our schools, it also handicapped us too, as far as sexuality and things of that nature. So
and I
yeah,
think, and to piggyback off what you were saying, look at what we were taught because of who we were. We were not a generation that believed in fully. I'm not going to say all of us in that generation because we did have those that were experimenting with bisexuality, those that were experimenting or actually involved in the before with the LGBTQ community, but those that were actually what we would call cities or punks, fags or whatever like that. They had people back then, involved in it, but they kept it within their own little circle and they didn't try to force it on nobody else or, shit like that. But now looking at what sex ed is now, it's completely turned around from what we know. Now it's all about the LGBTQ community and everybody's pushing it. And nobody really understands that there are those of us that are still uh I'm not gonna say opponents, but people who believe in the natural order of life, if I could say that.
I thought
This
that the
Go ahead,
L,
Chop.
the G, I thought the G in the LGBT was for gay, and it's
It is.
obvious that the gay people, the real gay people, have a problem with the shit that they doing now. To the point where there's a whole organization that they made up against it, and there's certain people like PayPal and Vimo and shit like that ban that organization from using their services. So if you want to donate to them or something like that, you can't use Vimo or PayPal. That's
So
crazy.
so my big question right now is
yeah, Target had just had a
are
big thing about that too.
so the question now is the gay community that is speaking out against some of the things that the LGBT are doing, is that because they're pushing it toward children where it doesn't apply? Because putting this on children is, oh, there it is right there, gays against groomers. This is something that we've been talking about on our podcast for a little second now. They're grooming the kids into this when they weren't groomed. Not all of them were groomed into this. You know what
You
I'm
can see
saying?
it, P. Dot. You can see the screen.
Yeah, yeah, I can see it. Gays
Read,
against
just
groomers.
read it. Read a little bit. Read that first paragraph if you can read it. I mean, I can't read
Okay,
it, but I'm, just
okay. So the gag, gays against groomers, far right anti-LGBTQ organization known for protested against gender affirming care for minors, including at hospitals that provided against LGBTQ representation at school, and against drag queen
Drag
story
Queen
hour
Story
events.
Hour.
Spokesperson for the LGBTQ advocacy group GLAD has claimed that the group uses the slur groomer to characterize the LGBTQ people as pedophiles.
All right,
Gag
that's what. Wait,
has.
stop. Wait.
Oh,
Stop right there,
hmm
because that was a lot you just read.
yeah. Oh, you said
But
the
you
first
That
heard
was your
half
that
again.
point.
though, huh?
You stop right. That's
Yeah,
your point. That's basically your point right there.
That's
It's
the
you
point
right.
know,
right there.
yeah.
Now
That's the
it's
whole
I,
what's
point.
crazy is it's not just because see what they call you if you say that shit. They call you what?
A
Homophobic.
gay,
But this gay
homophobic or a
people,
gay basher.
how you gonna call a
yeah.
gay person homophobic? They got the same
Yeah.
exact views, bro. Like we was just that's why I asked y'all that question first, so then we could see, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this
What's the
shows
problem?
that we don't have nothing against gay people. We just want them to do it the way they've been doing it, or whatever the
We
fuck it
wanted to
don't.
do this the same way the old pedophiles who just like their little girls. We want them to do the same. It's because it's not like okay, um, this thing hasn't been going on. It's we're not
They've
picking
been touching the
on
girls
LG like yeah, like this stuff with these
and the
kids have
boys.
been going on for a long time. Like people, period. So like
And
don't
if you
have
think
such a
about what
narrow
Silas
mind about it
saying,
if you listening what we saying. Yeah, don't
think
have
about
such
it.
a
Think
narrow
about what
mind
he's
about it.
saying, bro.
Put it together. It's
If
not
they
okay for
feel
y'all to
like
do it
that,
neither. Y'all know y'all want to be a part of everything, but I don't think you want to be a part of being groomers to little boys and little girls and stuff like that. Because yeah, if you're gonna use the narrative of well, how long men been masculine, been doing it to women, how long this been okay, but so now you want your turn. That's what I'm saying. We're supposed to be learning from our mistakes, not adding on to them or saying, "Hey, let me get mine's off since you got yours off." That's a perversion. So when you look at it from that standpoint, it's not about just y'all being what y'all is in y'all sexuality. It's about being responsible in what y'all is in y'all sexuality. But go ahead, John.
I don't want people to see, but I want to say this too because that Democrat Republican shit got a lot to do with it too.
Oh yeah,
Because
they
if
play.
you look at which one of the affiliates or one of the people that go to the rallies and shit, motherfucking the Proud Boys. Everybody hate the Proud Boys. You know what I'm saying? So of course it's easy to dismiss this organization because everybody already fucking mad at the Proud Boys, and if they at your shit, it's like you can't be doing nothing good or trying to do something because of what people think or the whatever they feel about the Proud Boys or whatever. But I want y'all to see the other one that said it's the subsidiary. It basically is the subsidiaries of trans against groomers. So that's the trans people that actually did the or didn't. I don't know how that go or whatever, but there's actually a trans group that's against the shit too. So I'm just saying, like, if LGBT is supposed to be about accepting everybody and doing all this, that, and the third, why the original gay people don't like y'all? Why the OG
I'm glad you
gays?
I'm glad you brought that up too, right? Because they do have one I'm gonna bring up in my segment that's going with what you talking about. So it's all tying together, brother. Like so, definitely, I got a surprise for y'all when you see that. I got a surprise.
All right, I'm gonna show y'all this video so we can hear what one of these young men, how this young man feels about how they trying to groom the people and shit, bro. Here we go. Gonna drop that shit right in fucking Juneteenth, Father's Day, gay month. That's fucked up.
Every teacher that has a pride flag in their classroom should be fired and arrested.
Y'all heard it?
It's echoing, Doc.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I cut the backdrop music off too, so they could hear it.
I think I'm on his excellent.
While y'all waiting, if y'all just tuned in, holla at y'all boys, man. Hit that like button, man.
And
Comment. Let us know
share.
what's going on with y'all, man. And yeah, go share it to somebody that you know, man. Go holla at them. Let them know we over here talking about this Pride Month. Not so Pride Month. Not so Pride. We talking about the problems, discussions, situations what's going on inside of this community that ain't been looking so proud. So y'all tune in, man.
Every teacher that has a pride flag in their classroom should be fired and arrested. The gay flag is a sexual flag. It represents nothing other than sexual things. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning. What business is it of anyone on this board of what children would like to do with other children? It is none of your business.
I just want to give y'all a pause so y'all. He is a gay man. He OG gay. You know what I'm saying?
That
So y'all could,
Mhm.
you know,
I
he.
gotta say that's a big old
Okay.
fact. That's a fact because when we think about what the rainbow stood for in the biblical sense, it was said that that is the promise from God that He would not flood the earth again. Right? When you look up the original definition, like we was talking a while back about the Merriam-Webster's dictionary and the World Book encyclopedias and all that stuff, the original term for gay meant extremely happy. They had nothing in there about homosexual relationships because that was a word all on its own. The rainbow became a symbol of gay, love, pride, and all other things associated with it. The term gay done transformed from gay to lesbian, bisexual, LG, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. I mean, when does it
No,
end?
it's not the Q. The Q is not for queer. The Q is for questioning, meaning you don't know shit. You just a question mark. That's what the man just said. I thought it was
Oh
for
crap!
queer, but
I
he
thought it
just said that's
was
for
too.
questioning. That's for questioning. Like I don't know what the fuck I want to be type shit. I guess that's how
And
you
that's what
slide
the
the
so
pedophiles in.
yeah, and the plus. That's what the plus is for. You can keep adding on.
Man, I
Oh
seen
shit!
something. I seen something that's kind of resemblance, and it made me think of it. So I just want to, throw that in there right quick. Where the man was actually reading one of the books that they had for the child, and he read it out loud at the conference or whatever little meeting they have. I guess it's the parent teacher shit or something like that. You know how they have the little conferences and shit, or they have like
Mm-hmm.
the little PTA meetings and shit. He read the book out loud for them. The shit was so gruesome, though, of like touching, on the penis, and it was explaining it. But this is a kid's book. The lady had to tell him to stop. The man said, "What you want me to stop for? What's the problem? So you telling me your ass can't even take it, but you got my fucking child reading this
My
shit.
children reading that shit.
So go ahead, child."
It is between them and their parents. But however, you guys want to illegally survey your students. My name is Frank Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of Operations for Gays Against Groomers. I'm a 31-year-old gay man pushing back against the agenda that's happening within our classrooms. Keeping parents away from this discussion is absolutely severing the relationship between a child and their parent. My community is not discriminated against anymore. Shockingly enough, we succeeded. Now you're sending out surveys that's asking students what their gender is, what their pronouns are, and whether or not you should be telling their parents. Could you imagine if my son or one of yours went to school and said, "Hey, I'm gay," and you never knew? All of you up here are pretty intelligent. You have doctorate degrees, you're educated, and you lead this district. But yet, you turn a blind eye with the sexual things that happen in your classroom. I refuse to believe that any of you think that that's appropriate. Because if you think that that is appropriate, you would be a predator. There's images that are going to be displayed today for you to see of a child sucking another child off. And that's in your classrooms. I shake because it makes me uncomfortable to even utter those words to you. This is nothing about inclusion. It is nothing about respect to my community. I say with you with 100% truth, according to the Center of Disease Control, that the reason my community faces such issues in this world has absolutely nothing to do with the straight people on this planet. It has everything to do with the drugs that we digest. It has everything to do with our access to healthcare. The number one reason my community has so many mental health issues is because they don't have
That's
access to
two big
healthcare.
ones, chop,
And
right there. Them two
that's
right there.
But see, he's saying that they have it. They making you seem like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with this. Totally normal. Like, if that's why they against groups like this. Because
The
it's
first
not
thing he said,
totally
the
fucking
first thing,
normal.
chemical imbalance.
Mhm.
That's right.
And this a gay man.
Nobody,
Oh, fuck.
the foods and
Oh,
stuff we digesting, we're not paying attention to the intake and the imbalance that it's doing to the body, even when the child is in the womb, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Y'all go start. I just finished that sweet too, chop. So yeah,
Oh, all right, yeah, that shit there.
I
But you
finished that.
gotta put if you put the things in place, you could tie it. I know how you thinking, so you probably picked up
Is
some of the
is
same
it it
things.
is with the chemistry, like the whole parts of these things, like being raised up on these certain type of things, being raised up in these certain type of areas, being secluded. You grow up a certain way, bruh. You have these certain things, especially if it's not clean, fresh food and like if you don't live in that environment, man, you cannot not expect normalities, bro, or abnormalities. You gotta understand that part of that shit. That shit crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. Hold on, let me let him finish.
directly from the CDC. It is not slurs. It's not gay bashing. We don't have access to therapy. If you really want to help the LGBTQ community to feel really accepted in this world, embrace that people have mental health issues and they should seek help. Having a classroom without the American flag in it is a disgrace to this country. If this country wasn't here, millions of people around the world would perish. And that flag, this flag, should be held high by every single student.
I gotta show y'all this shit, bro, because this shit pissed me off, bro. I can't lie, dog. To go with what the man saying, because for people that, oh, it's probably not even happening, man. Yeah, this shit happening, bro. This shit happening. Here we go. I got one for y'all.
Here we go. Happy Friday. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on.
Look how some of them children look. They look confused. They don't know what the hell is going on.
They look confused as hell. They don't know what's going on.
I remember how you used to come to school with and everything be set up like Christmas, or everything be set up like Thanksgiving, everything be set up like Halloween.
Yeah.
I ain't want to be a part of that shit neither.
Exactly.
It's just the new thing they pushing, y'all. Y'all can see it. It's you know what I mean? It's the same old tactics to a newer generation, y'all.
I got something else for y'all.
That's crazy though. The
I'm a
boys had the
pass it
rainbows in that motherfucker. It looked nice, actually. It looked nice. Set up
They had
nice.
been decorating that shit all week.
Her white ass over there sweating, chop. Look, just finished putting that last tape on that motherfucker.
Stupid at this.
Been up all night.
We got another testimony, bro.
Improved exponentially. I'm no longer in therapy, nor even on mental health medication. I have
I apologize. I'm gonna let it play from the beginning.
4 years of being on testosterone. I decided to detransition and accept my womanhood. My mental health improved exponentially. I'm no longer in therapy, nor even on mental health medication. I have not been suicidal or hospitalized since stopping testosterone. 3 years later, my menstrual cycle has still been irregular. I still have to shave my face daily, and I struggle with hormonal acne. I'm truly grateful I never got surgery because now I'm happily married and 28 weeks pregnant. But if I had gotten surgeries that I so desperately wanted as a teenager, that would have stolen this future from me.
As a teenager, meaning they was putting that shit in her. Like as a teen, she wanted to change, fucking her whole mental state up. Listen to her.
So I'm asking the board to create a rule that makes it unethical for doctors to prescribe these hormone treatments for people under the age of 18 and surgeries under the age of 21. Thank you. After nearly 4 years of being on testosterone.
That's another one, bro.
Now, when you think about that, when you think about what she said to herself, accepting her womanhood, right? Accepting the fact that she's a woman. But look at the person on the screen next to her.
Yeah, they gotta accept it, man. That's what she want. That's beautiful, man. She went, you know what I'm saying? Like they can't, that they side can't get mad at her for that neither. That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah, like how you gonna get mad? Because people deciding to change or whatever. They don't talk about the people that go back or none of that kind of shit. They only talk about the ones that's so-called actively doing the shit right now, whatever. But they, you know, like I said, I'm not finished. I'm almost finished because I don't want to stay too long. But I got some more. Y'all see the little kid thing on Netflix?
Where that come from?
This Netflix.
I'm glad I don't have Netflix no more because my children be trying to find stuff like that to watch.
That's because I'm non-binary, and Fred is the name that fits me best. And I also use they and them because calling me a she or a he doesn't feel right to me. I'm sorry I used the wrong name and pronouns.
What? I wish I could say that this was the first preschool show that has a non-binary character. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I mean, they've got pride parades and drag queens in Blue's Clues now. So it is at least encouraging that it's a flop. People aren't interested. People don't want this.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, what's up?
And now they have to cancel the show. That is encouraging. A non-binary bison in the kids show.
Name Fred. That's because I'm non-binary, and Fred is the name that fits me best. And I also use they and them because calling me a she or a he doesn't feel right to me.
A fucking this a bison.
A buffalo.
A bull. A buffalo. What the fuck? Don't try to start pushing the trans shit on the fucking animals. Them fucking things only know how to be a. What the fuck?
Yeah, animal, bro. Man.
That shit is crazy.
You see, they know children love animal cartoons.
I know, but that'll be weird if they wind up meeting a real animal. They gonna see that shit hanging down there.
The animal can't ask. The animal that female.
They gonna learn early.
That female dog is not about to. That male dog is not about to have puppies, bro. It's not about to happen. It's not. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Why is y'all trying to confuse people? This is another one. Then I'm gonna let it go. Wait, I really got two more. Three more.
Them children gonna think milk come out that shit, man. They can't be doing this, bro.
I'm glad he said the milk thing. Wait, did I get it? Y'all ain't see the man trying to fucking have I ain't gonna pull that one up because that one too graphic, bro.
Man, what is this show?
The man. All right, let's get the perspective of the children. I'm gonna give y'all the perspective of the children now, bro. Cause this shit crazy, bro. You can't make this shit up, DD. Like I'm just saying. They say it's not a agenda and all this other stupid shit. Lying.
It is.
I am an 18-year-old high school student and wanted to take this time to bring to your attention the current issue with biological men claiming they are women and in turn truly believing that they are entitled to use women's spaces. Firstly, the question we must address is why are we affirming the mental confusion of this boy and putting the safety of women in jeopardy by allowing mentally confused men to use the women's spaces. Of course, any male who claims he is a woman will accept it. But what about the women? What about the true girls like myself who are female down to our DNA? Why don't we ever get a say in whether or not we are comfortable with this? The truth is, we aren't. The majority of us aren't, and yet nothing has been done to protect the safety of these women. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and only ladies and gentlemen.
That's one of the kids, bro. She
That
don't feel
brings
safe.
up a very good point. But that brings up a very good.
What's her name, Sean? Not to cut you off.
Damn, they ain't give me a name.
Cause she actually is in my segment as well, speaking because she speaks on the sports a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna see her later on in the show too.
Y'all see this
I
one on the
just saw like
screen?
a little small little.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I had sent to you, huh?
No, I had.
Yeah, she
I don't know
is.
if you sent it or not, but yeah, this one of them too. She's suing because she ain't the fastest girl in Connecticut no more. It's a dude. Like,
Yeah, right.
what the fuck?
Think about it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna get more into that because that's exactly what I'm on. Yeah.
I'm about to.
And
Wait, I got
this
one
why I
more.
wanna.
Got the
This why.
news.
But
Got a
this
little
why I
clip
say
and
the
everything
girl bring
for
up
it.
a very good point about that, because everybody that should be included in the decision making as to whether this should be happening is all being left out. Not the parents. Well, of course, some of the parents are being goaded into it with the dumb shit they believe in. Whereas parents who don't believe in it, not even getting the option to speak up and say, hey, I don't want this around my child. This is not how I'm raising children. This is not academically acceptable, right? Or athletically acceptable. So that's why I say she brought up a very good point about it.
You know, and has XY chromosomes like Jared and me, not XX like you. Science says he's male.
No, Quinn has gender dysphoria. Her assigned gender is not the one she identifies with. She's mismatched, Dr. Murphy.
But biologically...
Other than biologically, how do you know you're supposed to be a boy?
Your question doesn't make sense. I'm not supposed to be anything. I am a boy. Biologically, that's it.
Okay, deep tenderness.
Wait. I think
Guess
he a
what?
robot or something. So I don't know. Not,
he-
but that's the smartest response to that shit I ever heard, bro. That nigga said that shit don't even make sense. I can't answer a
Yeah,
question
bro.
that don't make sense.
And he
But
broke
you
it
got-
down
now-
too. I don't know if you heard the
Right.
rest of it. He
He
broke
he
that shit
broke it
down.
down. He was like, hey, they
Yeah.
didn't teach that in my medical class. Did they teach it in yours? Well, okay then.
Yeah, he broke that shit down. So like the rest of that little clip, he broke that shit down. But look, where he come from though, that's the dude from the Bates. I don't know if y'all know him. He played in
Yeah,
the
he played in
a
the
little
Bates.
series, the Bates Motel. He
all right, yeah.
he played that weird quirky guy. He played that type of role, like that's what they go get him for. So that's why that nigga sounded like a robot when he did it. He do that weird quirky
But
guy
basically,
shit.
like y'all was
That shit
saying,
was
this dude
hilarious.
about to explain how y'all about to try to treat this boy with a girl, what you call it, like try to give a girl or whatever type of fucking diagnosis because you don't want to say that you treating a male.
Which you have
Medical.
to, right?
Medical situation.
Murphy, get imaging to confirm.
Do you think he's complicated or confused?
Dude, you got to quit calling her a he. We're never going to win this competition if you're disrespecting our patient. Don't they have transgender people in Wyoming?
Okay, transgender patient care was not part of my medical school curriculum. Was it part of yours?
No.
Quinn doesn't have appendicitis. He has testicular cancer.
Bruh, my bad, bro. I don't mean to laugh that hard, bro.
Why not?
Come on.
Why not?
Dog. That shit crazy.
Hold up, Shorty Reed got a question for you, Claire.
What is it?
And I think that testicular cancer.
Going on for decades
is a
short.
situation.
I'm not understanding why people are still on this situation. It's Pride Month. That's why we're talking about it right now. And this has not been going on for decades. They have not been trying to put it in schools and all that shit like that. This no. They ain't have all them letters in the shit either. They ain't even have a fucking community for them people. That shit ain't that ain't nothing that's been happening for years. If it's been happening for years, it ain't been happening like it's happening now.
I just want to know
Well, I
which situation, because we did bring up, you did bring up more than one situation too. I want to see which one. And the cancer thing is a good example of a situation that's not
Right.
talked about too. But yeah,
So where
B,
she at? She bro, where she at? I
I'm
need that.
listening.
Where you at,
it's
Shorty Red?
probably
What
taking
part
a
you
second
talking about? Cause I don't know what you're talking about. What situation?
because I think what Shorty really is saying is the whole gay lesbian thing, right? The transgender thing.
That's
That
dead.
had
Gay
no
lesbian
look,
dead.
no. Listen, check it out. The
The
gay
subject and the
lesbian
title, player.
right, the gay lesbian and transgender thing been going on for decades. But what we're talking about is the agenda that's being pushed on children that had, like when we were coming up, you didn't see a lot of transgender men or transgender women. You saw gay man, gay woman. That was it. You knew a butch, a film, a stud. You knew what that was. Like I said, when we talked about this, the earlier episodes, they called them bull daggers and all that stuff. Those were the definitions that we as children growing up in the city learned, and that's what we knew to call them then. But now, getting up into this new age shit where it's LGBTQIA plus is something new. All of these different things that are being pushed on children because we didn't know what it was like to be a gay person back then. We knew what a gay person was, right? Which was a man that didn't like straight men, a woman that didn't like straight women. She liked women who like women. He liked men who like men. That's all we knew. Now it's an agenda being pushed for everybody to accept. Cool, we can accept the fact that you want to be a what's called a cross dresser, right? We can accept that you want to be a woman that loves a woman. We can accept that you want to be a man that loves a man. But what we are saying that we cannot accept is the fact that this agenda is being forced on children.
It started with
That's
the
the
women
whole.
accepting the shit first anyway. So I just want to say that.
I mean, it did start there, but I don't think that's the bulk of the situation that we're addressing now.
No, I'm
We're
talking about
addressing the
like
fact.
if we go to decades, like if we just think about decades ago they didn't have cartoons with the gay shit in it or
No,
playing cards. They wasn't having pride fucking
now hold
parades at
on.
school
Wait,
and shit. I'm
Bro,
just
I will
saying.
be
you
honest with you. I will keep it a
is in
buck
the
with you.
title,
If you
bro.
go back and
That's
think
all I'm
about
saying.
some of those Bugs Bunny and back and think about some of your cartoons where they had to dress up as a female to get away from the dogs or the cats that were bullies,
See
that would beat them
one
up.
thing I noticed, one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm just gotta get this out the way. First of all, it's a lot of shit that people not gonna agree with, and I understand that, but the evidence speaks for itself. Anybody that feel otherwise after looking at the evidence, you just won't feel that way. That's just how I feel, because there's no way possible you could see all this evidence we talking about, and then that go back to, oh, this been happening for years. No, or decades. Like, So I don't care. What whatever. Fuck, it is what it is. Like, you ain't about to sit up there and tell me this shit been happening for decades.
She.
I'm a girl.
Nigga said she.
So she has testicular cancer.
Yeah, she got
So
testicular cancer, bro.
Yes, thank you. Let's get to
so
that part. Let's get to that.
right. So when you go back and explain, hey, you have testicular cancer. Nah, I can't tell you nothing,
help me.
because remember, they can't lie to you about your diagnosis. They have to tell you exactly what it is. So
Can I
you
stop
can
you
call
right there,
yourself
brother?
a she. Yo,
What the man said was he was misdiagnosing Miss Lady because they thought they were supposed to treat her like Miss Lady. But in actuality, what they were doing was misdiagnosing her because Miss Lady got nuts. And them nuts got rocks on them called cancer. And it's killing Miss Lady. So instead of trying to go along with the situation, Ron came on that bit like a robot and said, I don't compute this bullshit.
That don't make no
I'm
sense. I
a
can't even.
straight doctor. I'm straight from the book. I'm straight, you know what I'm saying? Biology. I'm not none of that, you know.
not dancing around no bush.
So no, I know what's going on. I'm not going to misdiagnose this lady because she's want to go by her sexuality of whatever that is, and Miss Lady got nuts, Pete. What I'm telling you is the other doctor was going along with it. You see? They were going along with it.
The
Because they
whole
wanted to.
everybody but
The
him.
whole time. Oh my, because the man said, look, y'all tripping. Miss Lady got nuts. Ain't nobody gonna say Miss Lady got nuts. Oh, okay. I found out she do. And I'm telling you, she got testicular cancer. This is the problem. Not all that other shit that y'all keep treating her for.
Exactly. Because she telling you she a girl.
Dying slow.
Or he a girl. You gonna treat him like he got
A girl.
female parts. Knowing he don't. That's just like the dude that's trying to the trans dude upset he can't fucking breastfeed. You can't breastfeed, my nigga. That's a female trait. A real woman job, my nigga. I'm sorry.
Didi stupid. Didi stupid, y'all. Look at the comment.
Don't hear that shit. Motherfucking crazy. What part? He have nuts. Exactly. He got balls, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? He got cancer in the nuts. Fuck. Oh, dumbass. I'm gonna show y'all this crazy bitch right here.
What is going on, man? Delusional, man. We can't do it. We can't live in the delusion. This is why these people are able to sell these AIs and worlds and meta worlds and shit.
Right here? Y'all was seeing shit like this.
Gay, baby. Gay, gay, gay. Please be gay.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh.
That's good for you.
Okay. Be what you want to be, but be gay. Okay? Thank
How you gonna say that's a contradiction?
Right?
Be what you want to be, but be gay. That's a contradiction.
No pressure. No pressure, but pressure.
So if we go
gay baby, it's a gay baby.
So
gay
we gonna
baby.
believe that. That's like
Gay,
Pete saying.
gay,
That's like saying,
gay.
hey, grow up to be a
Please be
Christian.
gay.
But don't.
Oh.
You could be anything you want to be, but please be a Christian. You could be
Whoever in
anything
the
you want to be.
background got
Please
enough
be a
sense
boy.
to stay. Be
anything you
whatever
want.
you want to be. God damn, bro. This was been going on decades ago. They was doing shit like this. I'm just asking y'all. Y'all seen shit like this 10 years ago? Because that's a decade, 10 years. Y'all seen shit like that? What about this right here?
Physically healthy people who feel they should have been born disabled. A man in Great Britain cut off his arm because he felt like an amputee. A woman in North Carolina poured drain cleaner in her eyes because she felt blind. Transgender, transracial, transabled. Guess what's next? A grown man posting an ad on Craigslist wanting a nanny because he identifies as a baby. You can't make this stuff up.
Now
I'm
we
done,
all
bro.
know about
I'm
that.
passing
We
the
all
mic,
know
bro.
about that.
I'm passing the mic, bro. I don't. Niggas is
No,
going
Jack
blind.
might have had me talking about women. No. That man said, my nigga said he's a 5-year-old little girl. Pete, that boy said, bitch, I need 2 adopted parents. And guess what? Somebody adopted his big ass. And it was
See, Shorty
he was
Red,
playing
that's
with
what
the
it's
grandma.
about. putting
You
this
would
shit
claim
in
the
people's
grandchild.
head,
Yeah.
like you're an avatar. You could just jump in any fucking body you want to. You see the programming with what you got on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, avatars. Like just I don't know, bro. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we should stop having this conversation. I don't give a damn. We gonna talk about this shit. Fuck that shit. We're gonna talk about it because it's a topic, and it keep coming up, and it's fucking Pride Month.
So we definitely need to talk about
I'm passing the
not
mic, bro.
not so prideful moments. We gotta
They gonna
accept the
chop. They
reality
gonna do you
that
bad, bro.
I think
Fuck
what it
it.
is there
It's
are
gonna be all right.
those that are
Okay, mama.
not
Call the national hotline. He's one of us.
God damn! I wasn't ready.
I see you put it up there. I see this dude stupid. I was gonna find the right time. I see if he don't do it, I'm gonna find that little spot.
Wait, I got one more.
Oh Lord, this shit is fucking crazy. I'm gonna send us to a game meeting. Oh, what they say? Say Shem, you run this on that? Shem? What the fuck is a Shem? The she or him put that shit together. Shem, gay as Christmas. Anyway, you run this.
Man,
oh
I
Lord,
got time for that shit, bro. Oh my dog, man. I gotta play my dog.
There won't be no siren. Be a real fag sitting on the roof going. Woo, 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 woo. Pull over. Pull over. Pull over. I'm gonna read him his rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. Now turn around. I'm gonna frisk you. Are you carrying any concealed weapons? Are you carrying? What is this? What is this? Lay down on the floor and spread it. Woo!
He gotta laugh at himself, bro.
Oh
Lord. I passed the mic, bro, because I don't want to offend nobody, bro. I don't care if you gay. Just be OG gay, bro. Don't be new gay. I don't want to hear that crazy ass shit.
Be
man.
proud, not a part of the pride.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Well, I don't know who taking it next. It don't matter. Whoever. Shit.
P3, you can go ahead if you want to, brother. It don't matter to me, or you want me to go. It don't matter.
I'm gonna jump in next. I'm just waiting on it to get silent back in my recording studio. Hold on. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm back. I'm sorry for the interruption. Let me get everything dialed up. So one of the first things that I want to share with y'all is this story of this person here. And I've had people I ain't gonna say people. I found videos before where people were talking about why they decided to not go through with the transitioning or why they decided to speak out against transitioning. But this is one of the ones that really caught my attention, and I really just hope it sink in that this is not just about what we think or how we feel about the LGBTQ community. These are things that people who are involved in the LGBTQ community are saying for themselves. So check this one out.
LGBT community for 16 years. I was planning to have breast removal surgery. I had been taking testosterone for 2 years. And after I started transitioning, I'm still depressed. I'm still suicidal. I'm still struggling. I started looking for answers. This is not.
What's the first thing y'all understood? Still suicidal, still depressed, still looking for answers.
Not what I thought it was going to be. I need something because something in my soul is missing. I was working out at the gym. This girl, she asked me to go to church with her. No, God doesn't want somebody like me in the church. I don't belong there. Ended up going, and I encountered God for the first time ever. All of a sudden, God speaks to me and gives me a vision. There was a man and a woman on one side, and then on the other side, there was a man and a woman and a woman. The man and the woman had babies. It was like glowing really bright, and it was like generations went down the line. And then on the other side, with the man and the woman, there was a red line under their feet, and it was black because you can't recreate life that way. God speaks to me and he says, I made man and woman so you could recreate and share the good news of my son, Jesus Christ. But the devil is wiping out entire family bloodlines, and generations of people that I intended to be born will not exist for my glory.
Anything, fellas? Before I finish it off.
Yeah, that was heavy right there when breaking a
What
generation
about you,
of
Chop?
people.
Wait, I ain't here. My bad. I was doing something.
All right. You want me to let it play from the beginning for you?
Yeah, play it right quick.
All right. I don't know. I can't rewind it, but I'll definitely let it run again.
I know.
Let's go back to it.
Just hit refresh.
Come on. There we go. What's happening?
Wow, I've been really selfish my whole life. Everything in my life was based on my feelings. I was wrong. The next day, I went to church and I got set free of the demonic spirit of Jezebel. And I didn't know anything about demons. I didn't know there was a spirit behind homosexuality. I didn't know there was demons behind false identities, but there was. And I know now that James Harley, which was the name that I went by, was a false identity. That was never who I was. But the devil stole my identity from a very young age. And that's why I believed I was born that way. God loved me the entire time. I was in the LGBT community for 16 years. I was planning to have breast removal surgery. I had been taking testosterone for 2 years. And after I started transitioning, I'm still depressed. I'm still suicidal. I'm still struggling. I started looking for answers. This is not what I thought it was going to be. I need something because something in my soul is missing. I was working out at the gym. This girl, she asked me to go to church with her. No, God doesn't want somebody like me in the church. I don't belong there. Ended up going, and I encountered God for the first time ever. All of a sudden, God speaks to me and gives me a vision. There was a man and a woman on one side, and then on the other side, there was a man and a woman and a woman. The man and the woman had babies. It was like glowing really bright, and it was like generations went down the line. And then on the other side, with the man and the woman, there was a red line under their feet, and it was black because you can't recreate life that way. God speaks to me and he says, I made man and woman so you could recreate and share the good news of my son, Jesus Christ. But the devil is wiping out entire family bloodlines, and generations of people that I intended to be born will not exist for my glory. Wow, I've been really selfish my whole life. Everything in my life was based on my feelings. I was wrong. The next day, I went to church and I got set free of the demonic spirit of Jezebel. And I didn't know anything about demons. I didn't know there was a spirit behind homosexuality.
I will say this: she's 100% accurate on the bloodline thing. Like, you killing whole family names.
That's right. That's right.
Whole family names because you feel like you're not gonna have a child because of whatever fucking reason, or because you feel like you something else. So now your daddy or your brother or sister, the last of your daddy children, because they didn't flip flop on the shit. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, she hitting on some shit. A lot of people don't like to go to the Bible thing, and I love it when they go there because the Bible to me is like a science book, with a bunch of facts in it. People don't want, I guess, because it's so outdated and it's been plagiarized so many times and rewrote so many times, So I think that's why people question it, but. Yeah, shit. They've been saying that shit in the Bible, but been. Been saying that shit, bro. Nobody like going that route, though. That's like nobody like going the biblical route or whatever. The Bible had us in slavery. The slave master had a Bible for us, but if you go see, that's all we hear. We don't hear the fact that they took scriptures out the Bible so they can, you know, so people won't rise up because it was a bunch of scriptures in the Bible that meant other things. So
It's a good point, Char. That's definitely a good point because we could go all the way back to Sodom and Gomorrah if they want to, if they won't play with it.
come on now. Nah, it's been going. The ad gate been going on since then, and they've been dealing with it too.
So that's why I asked about the situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause if we gonna really talk about it, we can talk about it. Like these people, you know, go back since been. So you know, we could talk about the fallen and all that. It all depends on what people believe in too. You know what I'm saying, Chop? This is not a new tradition. The push, the way it's being pushed or the way it's being managed is, I think, the basis of what you're trying to get people to understand, if I'm not mistaken. It's in the title, Not So Pride Month. So we was basically going to be talking about the situations that's happening in that community, just based off of respect for that community.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fellas, I'm back. My computer
No,
froze.
you
My
good.
bad,
You good.
y'all.
You good. Let me get this out, P. You good. Based off of respect, we're talking about the things that's going on in that community because of Pride Month. So that's based off of respect. This is not a bashing situation.
That's what it is.
It's in the
Anytime you bring
title.
them up, it's bashing or homophobic or.
And you talked about different situations. That's why I asked, which situation. But it is what it is. So just to be clear, like this not what we do. Everybody has a free, open opinion. To come on here and say what you want. If you wanna come up and say something, we'll drop the link. Let us know. My child, you can drop the link, on you if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? If they want to, just let us know in the comments and we'll let you come up. But that's not what we doing though. That's not this type of podcast. This is blunt talk. You're supposed to come over here and say how you feel. Be ready to smoke though. Be ready to smoke. Be ready to smoke, because that's what it is. That's what it is, man. That's link right there. So people say they won't come up, they won't talk. Everybody talking about they won't talk and all that. They go to link. So, I just want to, made that clear for that situation, because when he brought that up and you went out right quick, P, I just wanted people to know that, bro, because it's not about bashing them, bro. It has nothing to do with that. You see what I'm saying? It just is like how we talk about the black community, right? Don't we talk about the bullshit that goes on in the black community, right?
All the time.
Right.
Don't we talk about the bullshit that goes on in the justice system, right? Huh?
Yep.
Or
Think
the
about
injustice
it. Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying, though, right? We talk about the shit that's going on in whatever community or whatever's going on. This is what we do. This blunt talk. This is the whole purpose of the show. So it's not because of who or what this is that it's just that this is the month. This is what it is. Today's the day. And we gonna talk about it. So with further ado, P360, bro, go ahead. I just want to give you time for your computer and stuff to catch up to.
Man, this thing looks like it's done crashed, bro. It's not doing nothing.
Oh man, you ain't had to say exactly what's on your mind. Just if you can continue with your
until it catch up. Right, until it catch up to me, I do want to piggyback off what you were saying. Like, none of what we talking about as far as the LGBTQ community is to be disrespectful or stir up disagreements with anybody, right? That's not what we're here to do. That is just a topic. Like you said, we're talking about it because these are the things that we're finding that's happening within your community that nobody's putting in the forefront. The only reason we're even hearing about it is because this is coming from independent people, from independent sources. It's not being pushed in the mainstream media. It's not being pushed in the mainstream radio, like the radio waves. It's not being pushed on Fox or WDSU, NBC, CB. It's not being pushed on none of these mainstream platforms that there is people coming out and saying that what is happening in the gay community, the LGBTQ community, is offensive to even people in their own community. That's the only reason we even talking about this topic as being not so prideful, because the pride that you should have for the accomplishments that you've been granted and fought for are being diminished by an agenda being forced on children. Like, come on now, let's make it make sense. None of this was forced on any one of us when we were children. We wasn't being thrown parades at school for LGBTQism and all this other old stuff that's going on. Like, come on, we gotta make it make sense. Like, there's no earthly way this been going on like that. And so the whole baseline is, when do we agree that certain things within the LGBTQ community that's being pushed by big media, big corporations, people who want to control the population, when will we discuss that part, right? When we talk about, the fact that these corporations and we talked about it even in the Black community, these big high-powered financiers of corporations and stuff like that come swoop in and say, we're going to support your cause and this and this and this and this. You just have to do this, and it happens. And now we got people on in the same spectrum with the LGBTQ community saying that the agenda being pushed is not right, because it's being forced on children, and you're pushing sexual things that children know nothing about into their lives before they've even had a chance to discover who they really are as young boys and young girls.
Y'all know how hard it is for children to decide what they want to do with their future, like where they want to go to school, what they want to take up, what they want their first job to be. Like, kind of pressure be on them just making them kind of decisions. Let alone trying to, not saying it hasn't worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably do have some kids that were in high school or middle school and parents were accepting of them and they help pay for surgeries or whatever, and they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? But man, I'm sick of y'all trying to force that shit on the children. Like, and I'm seeing the shit change. Like, I have a 14-year-old. It wasn't that bad with him, but it was a situation with him. It was still bad, but it wasn't as bad as it is with my 8-year-old. And how I know how worse it's gonna be with my damn 2-year-old, because it's like there's no way in the world it's not gonna be more things that they're trying to do, unless, because right now what we having is kind of a standoff between the two communities, but between the same community inside of the community. You see what I'm saying? So nobody talks about the people inside of the community that feel that way. People just automatically get called homophobic for bringing the shit up, instead of saying, you got a point. Like I said, if you already gay, how the fuck you gonna call them people homophobic? And they gay. But if you say anything against the alphabet community as a whole, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be saying. They teach them how to do this. They teach them how to. No, the fuck they don't. They ain't got wood shop in the fucking school, but you trying to teach them how to fucking shit. Who to be fucking on.
That's true, bro.
Driver's ed. What's up with that?
The books and all that. Yeah, man.
Fuck.
It's like
I'm thinking
like you
as a
say, they be
child
getting that
growing up, I'm thinking they about to start putting driver's ed and all that kind of shit in the middle schools because it was in the high schools a little bit, you know, not in all of them, but in some of them. That's the kind of shit we need. They got gyms and shit. I mean, you know what? I don't even. They got parks with holes in them bitches. But we spending money to have fucking parades and put the shit in people in the children books. No. What's up with those kids? So those kids ain't supposed to have a life? They ain't supposed to have nets on them goals and parks that got actual swings on them?
Yeah, let's keep it real though. We know they love to fund whatever they into. If we gonna go into that type of situation, we gotta understand too, child. Look, somebody giving them the money to have all this shit.
Hell yeah. They know somebody.
Who is sponsoring these groomers, like you call what y'all call them, gags?
Gags, gays against groomers.
Who is
Now,
not them, the people who grooming them? What do you call them? The people who's grooming the children and shit.
just I guess that's what we
Pedophiles.
call
That's
them.
what I call them.
That's what I mean.
Well, yeah,
Like I
I'm gonna go
said,
back to the
teaching
original.
my
Then I was trying
8-year-old
to
or
be
my 6-year-old,
politically correct.
you know what I'm saying, who they should be touching, and they're not gonna be able to use the shit till they get in high school. Fuck is we talking about?
Big money is involved.
I don't know no man or no woman that let their children date in middle school.
Or
I mean,
elementary for that matter.
It happens though. It happens like 8th graders going into high school. Yeah, it happens. But all the other time, man, you know, you got them girls was getting in trouble for talking on the fucking phone with your dumb ass. Come on,
Who's
man.
sponsoring the drag queen story time thing? Who's sponsoring that? Because that be in libraries, right? They do that at
Right.
school.
I mean, think about it. Your public library is ran by the who? The city government.
And you know
The
they be
state
having
government.
drag shows. They be having kids that be voguing on that shit too.
So y'all telling me that's probably taxpayers paid stuff that they pushing?
It got to be, son.
What?
It got to be. They getting that money from somewhere.
Funding, yeah. Yeah, we gotta do some digging on that. That's a good dang.
And you know what? I don't remember a lot
They have this
of
shit faithfully.
I don't remember the like I don't remember there even being that many story times in a library like with my children. Like there weren't that many people volunteering to come read stories to the kids in the library, like talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
What? I never seen a drag queen come to Douglas for nothing.
No.
I'm just saying. For nothing. Not at Douglas, at least. I'm not saying they didn't have students. You know what I'm saying? They definitely had students that was, you know, but
yeah, they had students. They definitely had students who was on that side of the game, you know. And they had friends and they had their little clique and whoever they rock. You're like,
trying to tell you, dog. You done, Pete?
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, we
it's
gotta,
slowly coming.
We're gonna let Silent do his after you done, and we're gonna hurry up and get into in other news, and that's a wrap.
Well, Silent, look, go ahead and run yours right quick, bro, while I try to get this thing back up and running because it's taking its time. So I'll let you go ahead and jump the line and get yours on.
appreciate your southern hospitality, sir.
You are quite welcome, my good gentleman.
Alrighty. Anywho, I just basically, like I told Chad earlier, man, I just basically wanted to jump into the sports thing because this was one of the things that I'm confused with. So I'm gonna show all sides of this, and I'm gonna let the people just be the judge on this one. And whenever my brothers won't tap in, y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got a story to tell, right? And everybody want to be heard. So we could do it like that. Now, for me personally, when I thought about transgenders being in sports, right? And they said, "Oh, the man," I was like, "Oh, the girl then became a dude, and she want to fight the dudes." He was like, "Yeah, like they got those too, but no, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the other way. The dude won't be fighting the girl." I'm like, "Oh, he do? Oh, but what's the size like? And can they make it?" It was like, "No, they do the same weight." It's like, hold up, that don't. So I always looked at it, you know what I'm saying, a weird way, fella. Something like this.
Damn. That's how I think about it too, bro. I'm not saying women ain't fucking
I
could do
always
whatever they
looked at it
want
like
to.
when I first heard it,
So,
child. That when I first heard it, that's how I looked at it. Like that's what I thought in my mind. But go ahead, brother, if y'all want to see something before I play the next
yeah, bro. That shit really fucking. That's what I thought about it, bro. I can't, I can't say nothing else about that, son. Like real shit. That's how I thought about it, dog. Like the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't make no sense to put him in that. Like what the dude said. One dude came out and said, "Yeah, that's like Mike Tyson. Let Mike Tyson fight in the women's league type shit." I seen boy Dub had sent that shit to a nigga, but
that nigga.
yeah. Imagine Mike Tyson in the ring with the fucking women, bro.
No, bro, because I just, you know what I'm saying? I just looked at it. Shout out to Ricky Rich, man. He in the building. DD504. Shorty Red was here. You done left. Come on back, man. It's all good, bro. Come on back, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that like that. Who else? Q Scott. Oh, Matrix in here?
Yeah, Matrix is in here.
That was that. Shout out Major. Passing through. Appreciate the love, homie. But yeah, man, that's how I thought about it, y'all. So I always was kind of confused. So I did a little digging and shit, and I found this case. Chop, you touched on it a little bit earlier, and I found a news clip on it. So I'm gonna play the two news clips, and y'all, if y'all want to say something, just let me know.
Next guest says it's not fair. She is a track and field athlete who used to be the fastest girl in high school in Connecticut. But then she started losing to biological boys who identified as girls and competed against her. She's Chelsea Mitchell. She is suing the state of Connecticut for forcing her to compete against them. Chelsea and her lawyer, Christiana Kiefer, join me now. Ladies, thank you for coming on. Chelsea, you're in college now. I'm assuming you still run. Why are you suing now about what happened back then in high school?
Well, I actually sued my senior year of high school, and that was because all 4 years of my high school experience, I raced against these two biological males who ended up taking 4 state championships, 2 All New England awards, and countless other opportunities for myself to advance. And it's not fair to force females to participate against biological males, and so that's why I ended up suing.
So what do you want from this? Do you want the record restored to reflect who actually won?
Right. I mean, it's not fair that these biological males took these titles from myself and other girls, and so the record should reflect that. But also, we want the policy reversed so that no other female in Connecticut has to go through the same thing that I went through.
Yeah. Christiana, let me bring you in here. How do you win this case? Because it looks like Connecticut is giving it another look. More than 20 states across the USA have banned trans athletes from competing. How do you win?
Well, that's exactly right. It's so important that our laws and policies, not just in Connecticut, but across the United States as well, reflect biological reality. And that's the whole reason Title IX was passed nearly 50 years ago, was to ensure that girls like Chelsea and like the young women who are now protected in the state of Alabama can compete on a fair and level playing field and not be forced to race against males who have inherent physical advantages over them. So it's been really encouraging to see more than 21 states now protecting women's sports across our country. And we just want to see that momentum continue.
Chelsea, how is the reaction?
So that is what I want to ask y'all about too, Chap. And if you want to, for the people, look up the Title IX, right? She brought up Title IX. What is this law that has been put in place that y'all keep trying to ooze away from? And another thing, with that situation, now it probably was all good until them little black boys wanted to race. I see that too, Chap. And P, I see that too. Because y'all way up there in Connecticut, probably a good school, rounding them rounding them smoked her ass 20 times. She hot, Chap. She was the coolest thing in the city. Before them two niggas came through like Usain Bolt and Michael Johnson.
I'm a girl too, and beat and burnt the fuck out of a girl.
And was cleaning house. Everybody agreed with it. Cleaning house. She said, hell no. So to bring it back up is because her lawsuit is still recent, even though it happened 4 years ago. This is why I brought it back up. You see what I'm saying? For the people out there. Because I know it's an old thing, but the lawsuit is actually still going on, and this girl's still looking for them to do something about that bullshit that happened with it. So it just so happened that they're bringing it up in Pride Month. So look how CNN, ABC, and them, and Fox and them uses you to push these things too. See, this is why I say it's important to pay attention to everything that's going on, whether it don't matter what your community is. Look at what's been funded and corrupted in it and understand what's going on with your people around it. And if you don't, you're going to get lost in the sauce. These people is doing all kind of stuff. They don't give a damn about none of that. So when they implement certain things in it and you represent it, then what you think you represent? You can't ignore it. You can't act like it don't happen, because when it come down, they see it a certain way. Guess what? You gotta stand on what you gonna say you ain't right quick.
Now
It's the same thing. We can't take our skin color. We can't say we ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a double. Go ahead.
Yeah, that I was about to say, because judging by from the first little reading of it, it said the Title IX is the most commonly used name for the federal civil rights law in the United States that was enacted as part of the Title 10 of the Education Amendments of 1972. It prohibits sex-based discrimination in any school or any education program that receives funding from the federal government. This is public law. All right. The only reason I see that they trying to say Title IX is because they're basically using that as a defense to say that this person shouldn't have been allowed to compete because of their sex, right? They chose to want to identify as a woman, but they are still physically and by all rights and intents and purposes a biological man. And so, as such, they should not have been permitted to participate in the event based on that fact. Now, the opposite could happen because they're choosing to change their sex based on what they want to be and participate in this sport that is specifically for women, right? So it's basically like Title IX is the double-edged sword. I think the only way that it would work is if it were a person of color,
That's
right?
why they put. That's why they had for each state they got stipulations for each state, which I'm gonna get into. I just wanted Chop to put it up for the people because we pretty much they could pretty much get an understanding of just reading it. You know what I'm saying, P? Like we basically just presenting it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it is. This is Title IX. This is what they've been talking about. So this act not stopping y'all from doing nothing. First of all, this act been put in place for y'all, but you got to go by what's going on in each state too. So I'm gonna jump into that, Chop. I jump into that next clip.
Oh, look, it further went on to say that Senator Birch wrote the 37 word of Title 10. They first introduced the amendment to Higher Education Act to ban discrimination on the basis of sex in August 6th of 1971, and again on February 28th of 1972, when it passed the Senate Representative Edith Green, chair of the subcommittee on education, held a hearing on discrimination against women and introduced legislation in the House on May 11, 1972. So they're going to try to use that, and it's going to backfire because this person is identifying as a woman.
I'm gonna keep going, P. I'm with you. I'm gonna keep going, bro.
That's why I say it's a double-edged sword.
Come on, I'm about to keep going.
Chelsea, how has the reaction to your lawsuit changed from when you first filed it in high school and now a few years later? Did people say, hey, that's mean in the beginning, and now maybe they're saying, oh, okay, now we side with you? Has any reactions changed over the past couple of years?
Yeah, initially when we filed this lawsuit, there was a lot of silence support, a lot of whispered support. But now there's been a ton of girls that have been speaking out with us, and with all the legislation, I think it's just made it so much easier for women to stand up for themselves. And I'm glad that our case was able to do that for them.
Christiana, should trans athletes
look
get
at the
their
title,
own
y'all? She
category?
hot.
The pushback you typically get is, well, there's
She
not enough
mad.
lawyers to actually do that. But should they?
I think there's a lot of different ways that we could find a good solution here. But what we can't do is compromise the female category. We have women's sports as a separate category for a reason. Males have anywhere from a 10 to 50% performance advantage. And that's why it's so unfair to force girls like Chelsea and other young women across the country to compete against male athletes.
Yeah, Chelsea, I have young children. And for instance, my son is 5. On his T-ball team, you have boys and girls. Nobody cares. They're all playing at basically the same level. But as you move on in your sport, and as your parents dedicate their money and their time taking you 5 days a week, all year round, and you work so hard to be the best that you can to get that scholarship, and it's ripped away from you because you're competing against someone that's biologically bigger and stronger than you, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, in competitive sports, we need these sex-separated categories so that women still have the opportunity to win. I mean, I worked years to get to that state championship, to be on the line to win that race, and to have that kind of taken from you is really just frustrating and disheartening, especially because the person next to you has a huge physical advantage.
I was reading, Chelsea, that you were the fastest in the 55-meter dash in the state of Connecticut. How much faster did the boys run?
About 0.3 of a second. Which, may not seem like a lot in seconds, but in track and field, that's a huge margin, about probably 10 meters ahead of us.
Wow. Chelsea, Christiana, thank you for giving us the time and sharing your story.
Thanks for having us.
Say, bro,
Hey,
3/10 of a second.
she hot,
You mad because you lost by 3/10 of a second.
but
I'm sorry.
that's racing. That's racing.
Right.
We talking about 40-meter dash and all that. Pete, you
Three
lost, man.
tenths of a
Ain't
second.
no way
That's
you could beat me.
That's
that's a half
like
a step.
No, man.
no
That ain't
man.
no half a step, Pete.
That ain't
That's what
no
I'm
half a
saying.
step.
You don't race. You
Three
never raced
tenths of a
before. Huh?
second, dude.
I did know it. I used to race for Know It, man. When I was a little
Listen,
kid, bro. That's here we go. Have you
Nigga,
ever raced before?
yes,
Have you ever
listen.
raced before? You
yes,
used to run track. So how long is 10
yes.
meters?
It's about a little more
That's
than
not no
100
half a
yards.
foot. Come on, man. Stop that.
I said a half a step. 3/10 of a second. That's not very long when you in a foot race. That
Every
means
time.
that
20
person
times.
you lit 20 times. And now think about it. If you running
It's clear I have an
55
advantage over you.
meters,
And it might have
dude,
something to do
3/10.
with my muscle mass and my lungs and all that because I'm a boy. You don't think so? That's what I'm
Dude.
trying to tell you, player. Y'all want to meet the people who beat her? Y'all want to meet the dudes who beat her?
Oh, I already saw the picture. I know what they look like.
He want
Some
the
jacked
picture.
up, some muscle jacked ass
Put it
motherfuckers.
put it in the comment. I don't laugh now. Shut up. This my segment, not your. Put it in the comments. Y'all want to meet the people who beat her.
Suing for all
Cause this is
things to do
hilarious.
with my wife, folks. That man Rick
She
is stupid,
mad.
man.
She mad too. Jeff, you saw. We gotta do something about this. Hit your white ass to the back, Sally. You get one of them ghetto girls to come whoop your ass too. You ain't fast like that. You fast in that
I don't
Exactly.
area,
think
man.
You faster than the other white kids. That's
You
all.
fast in that area. Yeah, you fast in that area, man. I know what's going. I know the
they talk
underlining of what's
about
going on, but
three
we
tenths
about to
of a
talk about
second
all this.
is what Jesse Owens broke the record with, so it must be a big thing.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it is, chap. That's what I'm trying to tell him, bro.
I don't know.
In racing, bro, everybody
It's three
going fast,
seconds
bro.
in track. Yeah, like think of that's three steps.
Okay,
That's not one step. That's three steps.
thank you,
So
Ron.
that
That's what I
means
was
she
trying to
was a
tell him. It ain't no
whole
half or nothing.
yeah. A tenth is a second.
They looking at
So
she
it's a
looking at
step.
her back. She looking at they back. She
Yeah,
fixing
she
their
see back.
ponytail. She at the space
Yeah.
behind them to fix to fix their bun. That's where she at. But oh, but DD5 we'll see what she will see. Hold up, we'll get into these that we get to these. Hold up. We get to these. It's just funny how we look at stuff. We gotta be more open minded to what's going on. Like I said, I'm gonna tell all different sides of the story. I ain't gonna leave nobody out. I already told you how I thought it was. And girl said she coming there, she wanna sue him because she losing. So it's gonna be thought provoking. Pete, just give me a minute, bro.
Andrea and Terry, who you're about to meet, felt when it was time to tell their parents that they're transgender, they each revealed it by text, and now they have gone public with it, and they're facing opposition from people who say even though you may feel like a girl, you need to compete against the boys.
Terry Miller and Andrea Yearwood dominating the competition at the Girls Track and Field Championships in Connecticut earlier this month, coming in first and second place respectively. And while it was a state race, their wins are making national headlines, not because of what they did, but because of who they are, two transgender girls.
When was the first time that either of you found any kind of opposition to you participating on the girls' team?
I was expecting it, so every day I'll go home, search up Track and Field High School, Terry Miller.
Because you wanted to know what people were saying?
Yeah.
Some of those comments were harsh. Critics complaining that Andrea and Terry both have an unfair advantage since they were born boys.
At what point do you decide, actually, it's more appropriate for me to be on the girls' team and competing with other girls?
I decided that the summer before 9th grade.
They've both started hormone therapy and say that for the most part they've been welcomed by friends, family, coaches, and administrators with open arms. But there is some backlash from parents and students. 2 petitions were even started in an attempt to change the current rule of the state's governing body of interscholastic sports. The rule states that students are entitled to participate on a team based on their gender identity, how they identify.
The girls athletes are at the physical disadvantage compared to the transgender female.
Bianca Stanescu started one of those petitions after her daughter Selena lost to Andrea and Terry at a track meet in May.
They have naturally testosterone within their body that has been proven to give a physical advantage in sports.
The mom, who was unaware that the girls were already undergoing hormone therapy, has gotten a little over 100 signatures. Medical science tells us that estrogen hormone therapy does change the body, replacing some lean muscle with fat. But of course, everyone is different. Andrea's parents say what's most important to them is the well-being of their child.
Track is number 100 on my list of concerns as a father of a transgender daughter. I'm talking.
It does replace some of it, but it still doesn't deny the simple fact from it. Go ahead, let me get y'all opinion. I'm gonna play the next one.
I disagree with them because I feel like if y'all want race against your peers, which that's what high school sports is about, you going against your peers, I think they should race against other transgender dudes. I mean, you know, transgender women or whatever you want to call them or whatever. I don't think they should be with the women still or with the girls. Like, nah. That's like saying, that's like pulling a Joanna man. I couldn't get in the NBA, so now I'm going to play WNBA type
Good
shit.
point.
Like, nah, they ain't, no. They ain't gonna let no
360.
dude say he feel they gonna let LeBron James say he identify as a girl and go play in the WNBA.
Yep, they sure would. Even though they know them girls would be at a disadvantage, they sure would.
Oh, you seen the? Oh, I wanted to see her P dot too
Man,
because
they
he
ain't let
always
no fucking
saying something.
LeBron play no WNBA.
Did you see the space in between her and them other
This
people?
man here say anything, man.
Huh, P dot?
This man
You
is
seen the
known as,
space?
this man's nickname is King James, Goofy. How they gonna do that? How they gonna change all that shit around?
You seen all that space between them girls and that? I mean, that girl
You
and them
think it's
boys.
that easy? Yeah, okay.
Talking about 3/10
That
of a
man gotta
second.
go through a
She's
divorce
saying
and everything,
3/10 of
man.
a
What are you
second
talking
to
about?
make that
That
shit
man gotta
sound
give
like
up
it's closer than
endorsements.
what it was. You was nowhere
Remember,
near them motherfucking people. It probably was 10/10 of a second or something. You was damn sure not no 3 steps behind them dudes, bro. No, nah. It was longer than that. That's why when she said that 3/10 of a second, even though that is a long time in track, I still felt like it was longer than that.
she said they was number 1 and number 2, respectfully.
So how you 3/10 of a second behind them and the
busting
other
their
dude
ass.
number 2? You see what I'm saying? So if they
They
1 and
took
2,
what they do is they take your best time. So out of 20 times, that was her best. That was her best she done did against the two trans kids.
yeah, bro, that shit.
Let's see what the parents think about this.
Of their child.
Track is number 100 on my list of concerns as a father of a transgender daughter. I'm talking about raising a child for a life. And so is it fair that that child is excluded? Is it fair that that child doesn't feel like they have a place to belong?
It allows her to be who she wants to be, and I think that has a little bit more weight than just winning a medal.
The rules vary from state to state. In 7 states, including Texas, students must play on the team that matches their birth certificate, or have undergone surgery, or have had extended hormone therapy. while the NCAA requires the completion of 1 year of testosterone suppression. Medical research cannot really identify the line where a competitive advantage might exist for trans athletes of either gender.
What do you want to say to other transgender youth, young people, teens who are out there really struggling through this process?
Just follow your heart. Like, don't let other people determine what you do in life.
Let's just play devil's advocate for a moment and just imagine that you were both born girls, and then all of a sudden you had two boys who identified as being girls, and they said, hey, we're going to be on your team, and maybe now you're not performing as well because they are better.
I'm not going to discourage you or try to say, oh, it's not fair. And it would just push me to run faster. I'd be happy for them because they get to do what they want. They're happy, so then that should in turn make me happy. And they're brave. They're just different from everybody.
And just to be clear, the mother who started the petition says that she would like to see the girls sit out for a year after hormone therapy before competing with other girls. Now, this is certainly sparking a lot of debate, and it's something that schools across the country are dealing with because an estimated 150,000 teens in this country identify as transgender.
And you know, it's a very interesting argument on both sides.
You can.
I just want to bring up 2 points before y'all go in. About them forcing that melanated woman, putting the pressure on her because they know in the little town is even more. But y'all let them other little strong ass white girls swim and do all that other shit too. I'm noticing that too. So in y'all community, there is racism in y'all community. It's alive, people. In your community, it is y'all money. All right, now I don't think too many of y'all want to be proud of racism because it was good for the goose, good for the gander, right? All right, now see, we can't be saying two things at one time. So just look at the whole fact of that, you know. The mama decided she wanted her to sit out for the hormone. Why? Because they're gonna put the pressure on the coaches and all of them for them dudes not to compete because of what y'all said, that what y'all already laid in law for them to do. So it's a double-edged sword on their end too. You just gotta know how to play it if y'all gonna be playing the game with it. I don't. Me personally, I think it should be a separation because it is a lot of kids. The lady just gave y'all the number. So that is enough to start a league. That is enough to start an organization. The same monies that y'all putting into these parades and all this perverted stuff is the same money as y'all could be funding these kids to have them something. Since y'all care about it so much, right? See? So go ahead.
All they gotta do is start the damn. If they got 150,000 of them, fuck, that's enough to start. That's a baby fucking community. I'm just saying, that's like that's the size of a damn small city. They got towns with less people. Fuck, like I said, bro, I don't really. I mean, everything we talked about tonight is very self-explanatory, bro. Like, once hearing the information, once you get it, it's like it's already explained. So this goes for the dad and the mom. Yeah, they'll feel a whole lot more comfortable if they was around people like them too, right? You gonna force them with the girls? Why you don't let them play with the boys? His is I could just run faster. I would just run faster if I was a girl. The fuck you mean? You can't. That's what she's saying. Physically, you cannot. You'll fuck around and bust a muscle in your brain trying to fucking be strong, be that strong.
The girl said she worked her entire life to get to where she was as far as when she was on the track team. And here y'all come along, practice for a summer, and top of the league, 1 and 2. I
The
when that
150,000 let you know right there that they got enough for them to start their own leagues, and they just refuse not to do it because you want to be part of some shit that you're not a part of.
I really dial back to say it's all part of keeping people at odds in and divided on shit. When you know damn well straight how many, just like you say, they got enough kids to where they can start their own league of that shit across the country now. So it's 150,000 kids across the country that's in the LGBTQ transgender reassignment surgery waiting list and hormone replacement and all that. Ain't no way you gonna say you can't do it. There's no way.
If you now you putting your you know what I'm saying, that engine to it. You're really thinking about it now, because if you actually put all that together, you can't say that's not funding. That's You can't say there's no funding in that.
We
There's no
definitely
way
can't say that
they can't use
because
both. That's what I'm saying. They can't use both excuses.
not for all the tea in China. Not for all the tea in China. Because there's first of all, I had a moment with some neighbors of ours, and I know you talking about side. We had some neighbors, and I, for the life of me, couldn't understand where these motherfuckers was getting all this shit from, and it came from within the community. It came from within their own little circle of people that they was dealing with that were just like them. Now one of them motherfuckers had jobs, but they had Jordans damn near every time a new pair of Jordans come out. Remember that? And
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was sitting down thinking about it. Like, their money go a long way. And the reason I say their money go a long way, they are in more places of higher paying jobs than people who are qualified to have these high paying jobs. That makes sense. So when one of them call out and say, "Hey, I need money for this," money getting sent, no questions asked, right? And just like we were saying with the lobbyists in the government and the financiers that helping push the agenda, that's why I'm saying there ain't no way they can't say they can't get the funding for it, because you've already got the funding to push for LGBTQ rights. And it went through swimmingly because of the funding that was backing. So at the end of the day, there ain't no excuse. And like I said, it seems like it's more of a population control and to keep people divided than anything. Let's see if I can get this thing.
Yeah, P. We let Silent finish
Oh
his
yeah,
statement.
that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Cause yeah, and you could take one of your screens down too. You got both of your screens up there.
Yeah,
Um,
my car. Oh, fuck.
I wanted to ask y'all a question, right? Chop, I'm gonna ask you why he doing that. But if you could hear me, yeah, just chime in. Um, do y'all think that they basically, do you think that they try to make people feel bad because they have a moral compass of whatever they believe in?
Yeah, yeah. Because
Okay,
that's what you're basically
okay.
telling people, that they can't feel how they feel because you feel how you feel.
Mm. Nah, I looked something up today, fellas, and when Chop said it's basically self-explanatory, most of the stuff we hitting on. Well, I'm about to hit them with a 3 point then, bro. Cause I found this earlier, and I've yet to hear too many people really break this down. So the lady go into this thing she calls moral discrimination. And that is basically self-explanatory if you really break down both of those words. Based off of me telling you what I just asked you, and you responding, that's basically what it is. Your responses was exactly the definition. Moral discrimination. And this is one thing that they don't want to dive into, and this is a part of their community. So this is another one of those things in sports that I don't think that they should be proud of, and they should find something to go with this other than going with this, because on either side you have to look at this from a scientific fact, even if you don't believe in the Most High. So let me go with this clip right
Is
here.
happening is a thing that I like to call moral discrimination. Being discriminatory is not always a bad thing. Let me read the definition. Discriminatory: making or showing an unjust or prejudiced distinction between different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, sex, age, or disability. Not everything needs to be inclusive.
All right, now if y'all caught that, I'm gonna come back to that piece because I just wanted y'all to get that discriminatory in y'all head. But I'm gonna come back to that video and I'm gonna play this one. So just remember, y'all, put that in y'all head.
His posts, and I wonder why he deleted it. Maybe because common sense has come to fruition after all for some of these people. This is gonna sound like a very weird comparison, but a few years back, I remember a YouTube friend of mine at the time was wanting to do a video about trans men going topless on his channel. My response, of course, was one of those guys still has breasts. Like, why would YouTube allow that? That's technically not allowed by YouTube standards. And his answer was, well, what are they gonna do about it? Are you gonna delete the video and then be called a transphobe, YouTube? And YouTube left the video up. Basically just a really great example of extremism and I guess using it to your own advantage, or at the very least pointing out the hypocrisy of it all. This is an excellent push by Jake. Make the progressives eat their words, basically. Let the rest of them call each other transphobic. I honestly don't know how much longer this is going to last. It's been going on quite a few years now, but there are a ton of far leftists or progressives, whatever you want to call them, that are still pushing for this. Brittany Griner was just recently asked about this, and here's what she had to say.
Everyone deserves the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats, and feel safe, and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are, or like it's just all eyes on them. I think it's a crime, honestly, to separate someone for any reason.
Which our friend Riley Gaines responded to that on Twitter, and she said, which NBA team would love to have Brittany Griner? Since apparently the overwhelming obvious differences between men and women should simply be overlooked. Heartbreaking to see athletically successful women take this demeaning stance. And this is of course true. How many NBA teams would have Brittany Griner, no matter how tall she is? She is the tallest and possibly one of the best WNBA players, rather, and still no chance. And no one is banning trans people from playing sports. What is happening is a thing that I like to call moral discrimination. Being discriminatory is not always
What y'all got on the first in the beginning? What y'all got on the YouTube keeping that video up, Chop? I want to know what you think about that. And Pete Dot, what you think about them?
Go ahead, because they don't want to be looked at as, like they said, transphobic or whatever. So of course you're gonna do that shit, knowing that you shouldn't be doing that, but you're gonna do it anyway, just so people don't feel like Sean Reed.
We put up fair use and everything on ours, and we just be talking. That's what I'm saying.
And we get snatched down by an independent investigator.
Like, what's going on?
But you like, I wouldn't
What's
say
going on?
I would not say what we've experienced with YouTube and the snatching of our videos is moral discrimination. I think it's just we talked about a subject that was too hot
Mm-hmm.
for them to handle.
Woo.
But when we talked
Some
about
type of way.
when we talked about the church hiding that much money, oh, we got to snatch that down. Why? But you leave this person who making money off of your channel showing her breasts. Just because she's been take them down and all that to where they don't look like breasts, they're still fucking breasts.
And
She's
why,
still a
if she
woman.
won't be, if Brittany Grinder, if you like women, why you gotta sound like a man? Why you gotta look like a man? Why you just can't look like a woman and mess with girls?
Here's the other thing that I just like we talking about the sports
And why the
thing and
fuck they
how
ain't leave? God forgive me, bro. Why the fuck they ain't leave her in Russia and get them other people out there?
weren't you one of the
Now
people
she
saying
playing in
something
it.
about
She just was talking about the fucking league, the WNBA, and saying women don't get paid enough money to play in the league. That's why she was playing in Russia, and now you back playing for them.
wait,
But they
I
started
gotta
getting more
ask
money
you
now,
I gotta ask you this, child. One of
or
you
was the
weren't
U.S.
you
just trying to show her a lesson, prove a lesson to her, like, but you ain't gonna go play for another. You gotta play for America type shit.
Y'all play too much.
uh just like we were talking about the sports thing and how, okay, if LeBron James was to go play for the WNBA, what do they think's gonna happen to Brittany? I don't care how tall she is. She catch one of them elbows from a nigga in the NBA. You think she gonna want to stay in the
She don't
NBA
want
after
to play in
that?
the NBA. She won't play in the women's league with the women, but you won't look and sound like a man. So why you just don't go play with the dudes?
Then she know what's gonna happen to her ass over there.
Oh, you shouldn't separate people, and you still won't be a woman. You still want woman benefits, but you won't be a man.
No, I think she know what's gonna happen. She gonna catch a good elbow, and that's gonna change her perception on why women
Oh,
should not be involved in men's sports.
she want woman benefits. That's what all of them want. Y'all want the benefit of being a woman, but you don't want to be a woman. What you in a WNBA for if you're not a woman?
It's the same thing with the men, huh? They want the benefit of being a
Being a
woman,
woman,
but they don't
but
want
still
that.
they don't want to compete with the men.
Man, that shit crazy, bro. You had anything else, Silence, before we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into
I got, yeah, I got a little bit more, y'all. I just want to, I'm a, basically with the moral discrimination, basically, let her break that down, and I'm gonna keep going because I want to present the girl too who actually competed with boys because of her school didn't have a league for her to do her thing. Yeah,
Right.
and round on her side of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into that too, and she gonna break down what I was talking about earlier with the science part of it. So she's a woman who actually won awards and won, you know what I'm saying, in the field. So I'm gonna get into that, y'all, and I'm gonna come on out of here. And then, like I said, I had a little surprise for y'all at the end when Chop brought up the trans also helping up. They got one of the main ones I got for y'all that surprise on the end of it. So here we go. I'm gonna let them play, y'all. I'm gonna just let them play.
Is happening is a thing that I like to call moral discrimination. Being discriminatory is not always a bad thing. Let me read the definition. Discriminatory: making or showing an unjust or prejudiced distinction between different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, sex, age, or disability. Not everything needs to be inclusive. There's a reason why we have actual safe spaces for females, for kids, for young women, for young girls. There's a reason why a lot of sports are age-gated, why there are kids sports teams and adult sports teams. Are they technically discriminatory? Yes, but morally so. You don't want to see 10-year-olds playing football against 20-year-olds. You don't see heavyweights fighting against featherweights. More Americans are in agreement as of late, which makes me happy. Take a look at this poll posted by the Washington Post recently. I think it was in December. It says most Americans say trans women and girls should not, or trans women and trans girls, should not be allowed to compete in sports with other women and girls. Youth sports, 62% should not be allowed. People said that they should not be allowed. High school sports, 66%. College sports, 65%. Professional sports, 65%. That makes sense that there's a little bit more who are inclined to believe that trans girls compete in youth sports because, again, it's the puberty argument. If you have not gone through male puberty yet, you technically really don't have an advantage. Schools across England are also set to no longer allow trans girls to compete against biological girls. Transgender pupils will be barred from competing against children of opposite biological sex in PE lessons, that's physical education, under new government plans. The guidance, which is expected to be released within the next few weeks and will apply to all state and independent single-sex school in England, aims to protect girls' safety and ensure fair competition in sports. Thank you. Obviously, I am very grateful, and hopefully we all are, for the people that stepped forward over the last few years to fight against this insane gender ideology.
And then my first practice, it just sees me wrestling around on the mat with a bunch of sweaty dudes.
This was your choice.
Yeah, it was my choice going in, knowing I had a disadvantage, and also there was no other option. So I wasn't like, there wasn't a female alternative. For the wrestling team at my school. And before I was into politics and everything, within the last couple of years, I, made local headlines that was locally known for that girl who wrestles boys. If I was a boy, I would probably be considered like an average wrestler. So for a guy, like that was pretty good, but it was exceptional because I was a girl, beating and winning against guys.
Even if you win against one guy,
yeah.
I feel like that's exceptional.
I won against a lot. Scholastic wrestlers, anyone who wrestled in high school or college knows that before the season, you have to do weight certifications, and that's when you go to a big building and you weigh in front of everybody, and they take a pinch of your body fat and measure your body fat percentage, and then from those calculations they calculate how much weight you can safely lose. The first season I cut like 40 pounds. It was a lot.
Wow.
But there was different requirements for men and women. So women, the few female wrestlers that were in like the whole state or whole county whenever we did weight certifications, we could only go to like 12 or 15% body fat, but men were certified to go to 9% because we have biological differences.
Yeah,
like you need body fat to have like reproductive, like your organs. Yeah,
you will lose your period.
I actually did at one point because I did go below that requirement.
You'll stop having a period.
Yeah, so that's something that a lot of people don't even realize because they were like, well, what if we had weight classes? Because they hear about me beating guys because it's not like we were different sizes. We were in the same weight class. I wrestled.
But that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because I still had less muscle and I still had a higher percentage of body fat, even if we both cut to the same weight.
So I mean, you have direct experience in this, right? What do you think? Like, where do you fall on the trans women in sports debate at the moment? Because
get the fuck
right. The newest study says that trans women that have gone through puberty for whatever amount of time, doesn't matter, but have also been on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, doesn't matter if they had surgery or not, if they've been on estrogen for a certain amount of time and testosterone blockers, I think it's 2 years or 3 years, they lose about 30% of their muscle mass. But that still is not enough to compare to being similar to
not even a
biological woman.
A person who naturally has bigger hands, bigger lungs, they can breathe in more, they have better cardio, longer arms, like even if you have 30% less muscle mass, all those other things are still relevant and still give you an advantage. So honestly, fuck you, because I don't feel bad for you if you get hated on or discriminated against. Like I don't feel bad for Leah Thomas when people complain about like transphobia. Like
also special thanks to Caitlyn Jenner for launching her very own not-for-profit.
Like I was saying about the science part, and that was a girl who was in the athletics telling y'all about that, the differences and how all that actually matters. Correct, fellas? And speaking of Caitlyn Jenner, special guest tonight, y'all, Caitlyn Jenner, what you gotta say about all this shit?
Of this interview. You're perfectly qualified, Caitlin, to talk about this because I have a strong view that I support trans rights to fairness and equality, but in issues like sport and women's sport, not to the point where it starts to degrade the fairness and equality for women competitors in sport, for example. You've competed as a man hugely successfully, and now you've transitioned to be a woman. What is your view about this?
Well, I've been, first of all, you're right. We have to do the best we can here. But I have said from the beginning, and I stand with it, that I don't want biological
Just
boys
like
to
a
compete
man.
against women and girls in sports. It's just not fair. Now, obviously, over the last 6 months, especially, because of Leah Thomas at the University of Pennsylvania, she had been on the boys' team just a few years earlier. I do not blame her. She played within the rules, but she dominated. She had gone through male puberty. Her lungs are bigger, her back's bigger, her hands are bigger. She just has a tremendous advantage in swimming in the pool against the women, and and she proved that. So I don't have a problem with her. I have a problem with the NCAA that we have to change the rules. We have to do a better job because the bottom line is we have to keep it fair. And I don't want to ruin women's sports or discourage women from getting into sports because they think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to compete against a bunch of guys.
I mean, I totally agree.
It's just not fair.
I totally agree, Caitlin. But what I would also say is I don't want to expose trans people to mockery, which is now going on with this debate because it looks so ridiculous. You see Leah Thomas just dominating women's sport. And I think that trans people who don't want
Ain't nobody trying to mock you. No disrespect. But we trying to see why the NCAA is even letting this go on, huh? What, they got money on the
Because
game?
they don't want look like,
Huh?
or they got
You
paid.
saw the difference.
Or
Even
they
the
got
Queen
paid.
Bee telling y'all community, you ain't gonna listen to Caitlyn. That's Queen Bee right there. Y'all ain't gonna listen to her neither. My bad, Tap. Go ahead, bro.
You good, son. I mean, like I said, son, a lot of this shit we talking about once the people
It's not fair.
It's all fucking self-explanatory, bro. The crazy part is now that we have evidence that people from the communities are saying the same shit we saying, you motherfuckers can never, ever, hold on, wait, let me get it together. Ever say homophobic again.
Or transphobic.
Or transphobic.
Homophobic, transphobic,
or
any type of phobic.
I'm sick of this. You can't call people that no more. Because guess what?
You're being disrespectful if you do.
You the dog, motherfucker. That's what. You the dog.
So with me closing, y'all, I got with me closing, like I said, I let everybody talk, and we came all the way down to the Queen Bee herself. Caitlyn Jenner says it's not fair, and now we're gonna see what some of the transgenders who actually fight, and we're gonna watch some clips of them actually fighting, and what do they think about this? And it's not long at all, and I'm gonna go right into that and basically say the whole thing is at the end of this. I got a nice little clip for y'all, so check this out.
Especially being that I don't have even the amount of testosterone that women who were born with female anatomy have. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be like, I'm actually at a disadvantage.
Right. We feel disappointed.
So, fellas, hey, that's out the horse's mouth, y'all. So at the end of the day, I see it like this, and I saw this beautiful little clip, y'all, and I just had to put it at the end of this because this is what I think we should protect. This little girl said some of the most beautiful things I ever heard in a long time, bro. I had to put it on the Instagram to let people know about it. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I'm gonna play that again, bro, and that's it for me.
I was actually born with an afro. Not a lot of people in the world are wearing them. My mom is wearing an afro now for a month, and so far she's been feeling powerful and free, and that's how I feel, and I think that's just how everybody should feel when they have afros.
That's the best.
Everybody has a little bit of kindness in them that they can change into a lot of kindness.
That's awesome. What else do you love about yourself?
That I can always make a bad thing into a good thing.
How do you do that?
Well, I can cheer people up when they feel bad, and sometimes when there's negative thoughts, I can just change them.
If there's any little girls like you watching this, is there anything you want them to know?
Everything is possible to do. Nothing is impossible. You're just all beautiful.
Fact. That's a fact. I can't disagree with none of that.
This is what we should be protecting, y'all. So yeah, I bow out gracefully.
Piggybacking off of what the little young lady just said, bro, I do believe that a lot of these things could change if you just change your mindset. Because I really think that's what she was trying to get us to understand, that these bad things that's happening, if we just change our mindset, we can change all of the bad and make it good again. Yeah, that's my thought on that. If anything else, bro, like you said, that was adorable and cute. We need those little moments. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up now that my computer.
Other news.
I know. We forgot.
No, we ain't forget. You forgot.
I ain't forgetting nothing. I told y'all when I get it back up and running, I was gonna run back into my other segment right quick. I just want y'all to see these little videos. They not long, they short, and I just wanted y'all to see about the transition.
He already moved. This man here, bro.
Just check it.
What is this about? Wait, why is we watching this?
It's another one. Like I said, he's not long.
Okay, I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, and I understand I'm going to get canceled for this, but some things are going way too far, and we have to talk about it. But first, I'm going to say I don't have anything against the LGBT community. I don't care. I get paid every day, if not every hour, and I don't lose sleep over it. But what's not about to happen is non-biological women, you are not going to be the voice of biological women. Your opinion is not our opinion. Your opinion stops with you and your community, and you are not going to make decisions for biological women. We have sacred wombs, we bleed every month, and we bear children. We will make decisions for ourselves, and it stops here. Access is denied, permission is not granted.
We just talked about all this. I'm just trying to figure out why we watching these videos.
Oh, the one I wanted y'all to see, not on this one.
Oh, you still can't get the videos up.
No, it's all good. Yes.
I had a phalloplasty. After the phalloplasty, I had a pulmonary embolism that ended in a stress heart attack. Went home from that. After that, I started not to feel well. I started to have kind of a yellow substance sticking through my arm. And 2 days later, I was in the ER in another ambulance to Dallas for a sepsis surgery. I had developed sepsis. While I was in the hospital, I had a surgeon come by and say, you do know that you have a ligament protruding through your arm, right? And that you're probably going to have a disfigured arm for life. I had 6 inches of hair on the inside of my urethra. From the infection, I had lost all my hair. I was dying. I mean, I had gained probably about 60 pounds of water weight.
What the fuck was that? What we watched the videos for what?
That's what I wanted to share with y'all. And I wanted to
If
talk about
why
that
so
before
what
my
the videos was
computer
about?
about people who regretted the transitioning.
Yeah.
He went
All
and
right.
had
In
the
other
right of
news,
he went and had that surgery, and the shit went to backfiring and all sorts of fucking.
right, like the lady earlier.
Well, his shit was a little bit worse than that.
Shit.
Fuck, I had 6 inches of hair in this shit.
Well, in other news, bro, I want to say rest in peace to Satchmo Slim, a native trumpet player. He passed probably, I won't say yesterday or the day before. People that don't
Yeah,
know
rest
who
in
he
peace. Rest in
is,
peace.
that's him right here.
Shake your fucking hands
He
and you
used to be
take another
joking
chance. Want
around
to
and shit
with
all
your
the
now
time.
you're doing my chance. Want you
I know y'all don't know about that music right there unless you're real New Orleans, but
Nah,
yeah,
they know about it now. You know them the dudes and stole that. Them the dudes using it now.
yeah.
You live around in them, chap. A symbol.
No, that shit is crazy, bro. That's the
What they
only thing
call
I
it?
had
They
in
call it
other
something
news. What
else.
you got in other news, Silence?
Man, my dog done caught. See, I'm still on the community, man. My dog done caught a couple of them motherfuckers from Polk County. Man, look up the sheriff from Polk County, man. He just caught some people around. They got a little quick one on for the. I need to find that bitch right quick. What his name is? The sheriff. I think it's Judd or something like that. A Polk County sheriff. Shit, I just wanted y'all to see him. All them damn charges them boys had on them, man. We talking about in the hundreds, y'all.
Damn.
Old settlers taking pictures of them churn and everything. You know?
Man, I don't see the. Yeah, I don't see nothing. I did sheriffs in the sheriff's office come up when you do Polk County sheriffs.
Wait, say it again.
When you do Polk County sheriff, they send you straight to the whole office, the Polk County
What you looking at
sheriff's
Google?
office. Yeah.
Nah, go to YouTube.
I got you.
Yeah, go right to YouTube. And then it's gonna pop up right there.
June 1st, 2023.
It just happened. Yeah.
All right.
Things like
I
5 minutes, 10 minutes. It ain't just not long. Not the long one. He do a long one, they got a shorter one. Do the shorter version if you can see it.
I'm putting it up on the screen. Oh yeah, not that 25-minute one. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he caught around in them, y'all. Check this shit out. Listen to some of this shit.
Which one, bro?
Yeah, anyone. Just anyone. Whichever one. Let's see. Yeah, play that one right there. You ain't gotta play the whole thing though. Skip into like 3 minutes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us. We, in fact, chased one all the way to Australia.
Dang.
But what you're not going to see today, for good reason,
we chased him all the way to
is the
Australia.
screaming and hollering
just let
of
it
the
play for a
children
little
in
bit.
pain
Y'all
and
see what I'm
agony
talking
and
about.
fear while they're being sexually battered. That's right. My detectives have to see the video clips of the children screaming in pain and fear and agony because of evil monsters that are creating the child porn that these people are swapping and enjoying in their deranged mind. But it's important that we go over these folks because I want you to have a full understanding of just how nasty they are. They're nasty, nasty people. First, let me introduce you to David Sparks. He's 66 years of age. He's retired. He was in customer service, and he's married. He's charged with 350 counts of child porn that we found on a CD. We found that these children that were being sexually battered were between 3 months old and 12 years old on the porn that he had. His wife of 10 years is a retired child protective services worker out of Missouri. She had no knowledge of his evil deeds and was absolutely mortified because she spent years and years and years protecting children only to have his secret life destroying children's lives. Because you see, if there weren't people to watch child porn, there wouldn't be anybody making child porn. And you see him from the outside, as the detective said, he looks like a nice old grandfather. Until you get into his digital devices and see the evilness that lurks behind the curtain. Then there's Stefan Young. He's 58. Stefan has a business,
Y'all like,
a photography business
saying?
called
You know what I'm saying? If y'all
Enchanting
want to talk about any
Boudoir.
of these.
And I'm from Polk County. To me, that's like taking pictures of people in their underwear, okay? But they call it Enchanting Boudoir. So we started an undercover operation against this guy because we had a concerned citizen who saw his advertisements on Craigslist that he would take photographs of people in their underwear. And he found out that they would do this also for children. So he called on us, and we appreciate this man in the community being curious, making a phone call, saying, ooh, there's something here, and notifying us, so we went undercover.
Man.
He claimed that he had taken photographs of children as young as 13, not only in their lace and silk underwear, but sometimes totally nude. But he bragged that he did this with the parents' authorization. Now, we don't know who these children are.
Y'all heard that, huh?
Yet.
Pause it right
We
quick.
don't know who these parents are yet. But I want to tell you, parents, something. If you're having your children's nude photographs taken by Stefan Young or anybody else in provocative, sexual, lacy underwear, we're going to put you in jail too. That is not all right ever. In
Yeah.
addition to that, he said he would do dressed and undressed pictures with the undercovers children. And he said, but listen, if Grady Judd finds out, we're in trouble. Because, see, he'll take art and make it pornography. Well, Stefan, it's pornography. It's not art. And your ugly mug is in the county jail. That's right. He knew he was going to be in trouble when we figured it out. Because Grady Judd takes art and makes it pornography. He justified this as art. It's not art when you're taking nude pictures of children. It's not art when you're in possession of child porn. And he also said he had, once again, this is his communication. We need these victims, that he had physical sexual contact with two girls as young as 9 and 11 years of age. We don't know where they are. We need those victims. We're looking for them.
Protect these babies.
And then he told the undercover another Grady Juddism. Don't talk to Grady Judd. If you do, I'll go to jail. He was right. He's in jail. He knew what he was doing was wrong, or he wouldn't have quarrel at Cosmic Ray's restaurant. In fact, he just recently moved to Polk County from Indiana, and he moved here specifically to work at Disney World. Well, you know, back in the day, they arrested Willie Sutton for robbing banks. He was a notorious bank robber. And they asked Willie Sutton, hey, Willie, why do you rob banks? And he said, well, that's where the money is.
Yeah, y'all ain't got to play all of it. I just wanted to show y'all a little piece because he caught a couple of them, man. So
you know what this rascal
definitely
did?
I want to touch on that. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got to play the whole thing. If people won't go watch it, they can go check it out. He just released this. You know, he do it every month, and it's a couple of them, y'all. So yeah. It's 25 minutes long. If y'all want to go check it out, y'all go check it out. But yeah, fellas, what y'all think about that? Let a nigga know, and we could close out.
I wish we literally had more dedicated officers like the sheriff's department down in Polk County, where they literally like go to the extreme painstaking process of catching these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already bad enough. They got so many hidden traps that they use to keep from being identified. But this man been on a roll since we first heard. Since you brought this man to our attention, bro, I kid you not. Every time we turn around, he catching at least 5 to 6, if not more. I think the highest count I done seen him catch was like 40 something people at one time.
Man, I'm waiting on that motherfucker to shut Disney all the way the fuck down one of these days. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He always catching the motherfuckers coming out of there.
Yeah. You have to say that that's one of the hubs for the pedophiles. You want to catch pedophiles? Like real true pedophiles? Go send undercover motherfuckers to work at some of these theme parks. You'll catch them. And I really believe that that's something that could actually work. Put a lot of undercover officers to work in these theme parks out there to catch their pedophiles. Because it's going to keep happening until the whole pedophilia ring is disrupted.
Yeah, I'm just glad he said something about the parents, because that just let you know a lot of parents be involved with the shit. Just like I said with the R. Kelly thing, we need to start holding the parents accountable.
y'all. To YouTube. Don't take our shit, YouTube. See, look, we played it. Look. Fair use. This shit, people. This has been another fire one. What y'all think, cuz? Think about tonight's show. Nobody? Y'all there? Mic check 1, 2.
Oh yeah, this definitely was a fire episode, man. We got
That's what's
a lot of
I had fun.
inform people about a lot of things.
Yeah, man.
We open the chat up for people to come through, man. Fuck, ain't nobody. I guess we're gonna have to start dropping the link in the beginning every time somebody will come up.
Yeah, just gradually put it through it in case. Oh, we could just do like we just did. Right there and now, yeah. Yeah, man, dog. You know how we rock when we do it, bro. Everything is, that's who we made it for, right? For people to come up and, at least listen to us if you don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? At least listen to us. You don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate the support, man. We appreciate everybody who always come through, y'all. Shout out to the kids, man. Smoke. I know some of y'all was dying bad.
Hell yeah.
It was a very interesting night.
Yeah, he gone.
I was trying to give him a little time to come back, but without further ado, chap, I guess we'll roll up on out of here, man. This is another episode of Let's Go Child 17.
Chop Tracks in the building.
And we out this motherfucker.